We have all the major updates on mixed martial arts, starting with the news that Sean Strickland is again teasing the UFC for not paying fair money to its fighters. Sean has criticized the UFC about payment issues many times before. Recently, before the Paulo Costa fight, Sean once again voiced his opinion on UFC payments. He believes that the way the UFC earns money and the portion they give to the fighters is not right. Listen to what Sean had to say.
Sometimes you gotta get ready to throw away your entire career if you don't get your shit, you know? Sometimes you gotta have that craziness to you. I'll do whatever it takes. But no, just doing the right things, man. Like, the UFC doesn't do the right things. It doesn't do the right things. It doesn't do the right things with their most of their rosters. Like, if you go look at, what these the guys that run the UFC, what they're making to what guys get paid is dude. The UFC does not do the right things. And unless you hold them at, gunpoint, they can do it.
An interesting piece of news is emerging from Dillon, Danis, and Islam. You might remember UFC 229, where Khabib fought Conor. After the match, a big brawl broke out and both teams attacked each other, and Islam was also present at that time, and he lands some punch on Dillon Danis. Regarding this incident, Dillon has made an important revelation. Dillon Danis said, "Islam should be thanking me. When the cops came to me at UFC 229, I refused to press charges. If I had, he would have a felony and not be allowed to fight in the States." MMA community also reacted to this by saying he punched your ass and you can't do shit about it. You want him to thank you for being a man? We can always see how Danis praises himself. You are literally the biggest loser in the fighting world right now. You're arguably worse than the Paul brothers. You are not the main character, sorry. How does it feel losing to Logan? Bro is bragging about not snitching on cops. Now he's the #1 pound for pound UFC champ, and you are a keyboard warrior who lost his last fight against a YouTuber. Bro can't stop embarrassing himself. Yo, screw this. Islam gave your eyes such a beautiful punch in 229. I remember this very well, though gorgeous punch. Because your daddy told you not to press charges. He's gonna delete this tweet soon. Recently, Dana White revealed that he turned down $125 million worth of deals because he did not want to align with those partners. Dana disclosed this while collaborating with James West, explaining that despite being offered $125 million by advertisers, he refused the deals as he did not want to associate with them for some reason.
I got questions for you, Dana. What's the most amount of money you've turned down from an advertiser because you didn't align with them?
$125 million.
$125 million. What's your favorite UFC fight of all time?
A tough one, man. It would probably have to be Conor Khabib. It was so big and
And that's the problem with takedowns, is they gain the respect.
so much at stake and so much animosity.
What do you think of the Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul fight coming up? Next question. What are your most popular business principles and mindsets?
Your people are number one. You build a great team around you. You take care of your team. You all kick ass together.
Let's go. What has been the biggest struggle you've faced, either in life or business, and how did you overcome it?
I'd say going through COVID, because there were so many just negative piece of shit forces working against us.
Alex Pereira bought an expensive watch and unboxed it to show everyone.
Esse é o primeiro que eu sempre quis. Cadê? Vamos ver como fica o chão. Como que é esse aqui? Não servir não, tem que emendar o... Emenda a pulseira dele. Cabe não. É bonito, não?
Kamaru Usman declined his upcoming fight against Jan Blachowicz. Recently, Jan challenged Usman for a match, but Usman refused, stating that neither of them holds a championship title anymore. Therefore, he believes the fight wouldn't make sense at this time.
Then, when he was champion, I liked the matchup because it made, we were fighting for something. Listen, I respect each and every UFC fighter that steps in there, in that octagon. And even with Jan Blachowicz, I respect him, the original Polish power. Big respect for Jan Blachowicz. But I thought that matchup favored me, and I wanted that matchup when Jan Blachowicz was the champion, and I was the champion. I am no longer the champion. He's no longer the champion. So that fight makes absolutely no sense. It does nothing for me. If I go up there and I beat Jan Blachowicz, what does that do for me? Nothing. It's just another paycheck. So, Jan, big respect. You big, strong, tough guy. I will happily decline at this moment.
Nick Diaz was very close to securing a major rematch with Georges St-Pierre before he agreed to a comeback fight with Vicente Luque. In 2013, the UFC created a super fight by matching up Georges St-Pierre and Nick Diaz, two fighters with very different personalities. GSP was known for his discipline and humility, while Diaz had a rebellious and wild image. This contrast made the fight exciting, drawing over 1 million pay-per-view buys. St-Pierre won the fight decisively, but fans are still interested in seeing them fight again. Recently, Nick Diaz has been trying to set up a rematch with St-Pierre, but due to some reasons this fight could not be confirmed, Ariel Helwani confirmed this on the Wednesday's edition of the MMA Hour show.
Nick was initially pushing for a GSP fight. Didn't come to fruition. He was then pushing for a Colby Covington fight at UFC 300. Didn't come to fruition. He then, after MVP's win and debut at 299, pushed for that fight on the June 29th Conor McGregor card, UFC 303. Didn't come to fruition. He then pushed for Kevin Holland on the June 29th card. Thought that was going to be the one. But as you know, didn't come to fruition. Kevin Holland is fighting Michal Oleksiejczuk this weekend in Newark. And so at that point, they were going back and forth. He wants to fight. He's ready to go. He's in Houston training. He has gotten rid of all the baggage. He's gotten rid of all the partying, all that stuff. I'm told he's in a great mental, physical, spiritual space right now. And they say, what about Vicente Luque in Abu Dhabi? Initially, didn't want to go overseas. I'm told the people in Abu Dhabi want Nick Diaz. I think there's a jockeying of position between Abu Dhabi and Saudi Arabia. And if I'm being honest, I think this card is more intriguing as far as the names are concerned than the one in Saudi Arabia. They're both great cards and great main events. But like Nick Diaz out of nowhere getting on this card. And so he is going to go to Abu Dhabi and he's going to fight Vicente Luque in a 5-round co-main event.
Just a month after Nassourdine Imavov called Sean Strickland for a rematch, in response, Strickland rejected the challenge, stating, "You can act however you want, but it doesn't change the fact that I beat you and I'd beat you again. You won't get a rematch. Climb the ladder. I don't look backwards."
Let me tell you, dude. You could be a woman all you want, and you could be as mad as you want to, but it doesn't change the fact that I beat you and I beat you again. You ain't getting a rematch. Climb the ladder. Keep beating lower, lesser guys, and enjoy your life, Frenchman. But I'll tell you what, Frenchie. If you really want to settle this shit, we'll settle it. Anytime you're in Vegas.
Vegas, not in Paris.
Well, if you really want to settle this shit, we'll settle like men. But like, you up once, you haven't earned it, you won't earn it. Like, but if you really feel the need to settle this shit, dude, we'll handle it.
Actually, you really want it. Actually, it's the next fight. If you win Jared, it's the next fight he wants.
No, he ain't getting it, dude. I don't look backwards.